Shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Steel is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Seek high! Seek high! Seek high! Whispers turn to thunderous roar.
Right, time to launch you into orbit. Wait! Ah!
Slams the door on
There we go.
tyranny's cruel, grasping hand. He fights for freedom, takes a stand with courage born of darkest night. He ignites hope, a guiding light. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Though battles rage and darkness reigns, hope's ember burns within his veins. He'll never yield, he'll never fall. He answers freedom's clarion call. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. A symbol etched against the moon. Vindicator rising soon.
Hello everybody, how you all doing? First things first, I want to congratulate everybody for bringing this channel up to, in fact, let's show it, we'll show it. There we go. We are on 7,046 subscribers. And that's all down to you guys. You are the channel. You make the channel what it is. I want to thank you all. I'm chuffed. I never thought I'd make it to this far, to be honest with you, to 7,000 subscribers. But that's all down to you. It's you guys sharing my content, liking my content, leaving comments, giving me encouragement. It's all down to you guys. It really is. And I really, really appreciate it. Let's have a look at the comments. Let's see what we've got in the comments. Hi chat, how you all doing? How you doing, mate? Steve, you doing? Yes, 7K, mate. Awesome. Afternoon. Hey, Missy Moon, how you doing? Good afternoon. Hey Tina, how you doing? Hello, Ivy Mikey. Hi all. How you doing? Hey Guna. That. Karen, how you doing? Yes, they are. Very impressive lately. Hello, 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 and hello, chat. Right. So I want to make everybody aware. 4 o'clock this afternoon, I've got another video coming out with Richard Inman yet again, doubling down on his comments from yesterday that he made in today. He has a breakfast show. He did a breakfast show today. Doubling down yet again on the things that he said yesterday about Restore Britain's racist and Restore Britain is responsible for his friends getting racist remarks, and it's only happened since Restore Britain has been formed and all this kind of stuff. But I go into more detail in the actual video, so go and watch that later. But yeah, the feedback I've been getting from my videos lately has been amazing. It really has. It's majority positive. This morning's video where I was talking about Ben Habib and who is he, kind of got some pushback from the Ben Habib and Advanced UK sycophants that simply won't accept evidence. They won't accept evidence. They just think it's all fabricated and Ben Habib is the best thing since sliced bread. And that's fair enough. That's their opinion. If they don't want to accept evidence and the facts, I mean, they were saying it's all fabricated, but they neglect to see that. I'm going to show it in a minute. I'm going to show the thread from Basil the Great on this live stream. They forget to think about the fact that Ben Habib actually posted the evidence to Basil the Great to prove his point that he didn't initially ask for the money back. But what he actually did was he just proved that he took the money, because apparently he was kicking a fuss up. Rupert Lowe just said, "Look, Ben, if you want the money back, I'll give you the money back." And then Ben Habib just accepted it. They accepted it back. So that's what it's proving, which like I said in this morning's walk video, was a scumbag move to do. No matter what your beef is with Rupert Lowe or anything like what you're arguing about, the grooming gang should be kept separate. You know, you donated it in good faith. And like people were saying in the chat in my video this morning, when you make a gift, a donation to something charitable, you don't really expect anything in return, do you? I wouldn't. You know, I donated to the grooming gang inquiry. It was only a little amount, but it was enough. And I wasn't expecting anything in return. That's how I know about the mailing list. It's a mailing list. Everybody gets updated. The thing is, you don't expect anything in return. And then to accept it back when it's offered to you is just despicable, isn't it? It just makes it an empty gesture. Well, there you go. It's a matter of principle, yeah. Yeah, okay, fair enough. They probably got their differences between each other, which is another reason why Rupert Lowe probably doesn't want to merge with Advanced UK. They've probably got their issues in the background that Rupert refuses to air in public because it's dirty laundry. He's not interested in that. He's not interested in the drama side of things. All Rupert, from my opinion of him, is he's interested in getting the country back, setting up the Restore Britain party, and getting on with the job of taking our country back. Look at who has been bitching. Look where all the drama's come from. Has it come from Restore Britain? Because the only thing, I'm you know, like I keep saying, I've got no horse in this race, but I feel like I have to defend them. Because all the drama is coming from one side, and it's Advanced UK. The only thing that Restore Britain are doing is defending themselves from the accusations, and not even from Advanced UK. They're basically, they had to address the accusations from Reform, who said that whose mayoral candidate suggested that Restore Britain was full of neo-Nazis. They had to address that, because that was from a prominent party, the major rival of Restore Britain. I don't think they're expecting Advanced UK to become a rival to them and start smearing them, calling them ethno-nationalists. And this isn't just the members doing it. This is prominent people from within the party doing this, that went on a live stream and passively aggressively did the guilt by association fallacy by saying, well, you've got ethno-nationalists following you, and, you know, talking about your parties, that means you must be ethno-nationalist. Guilt by association. Wrong. And then we've got Richard Inman, who keeps doubling down on the whole ethno-nationalist thing and basically putting Rupert and anybody within Restore Britain at risk, because Rupert Lowe had a death threat. He had his face imposed over the shooting of Charlie Kirk, and that was sent to him, and it was supposed to be a credible threat. And we know there are crazy people out there that if you keep calling people neo-Nazis or ethno-nationalists, they will take matters into their own hands. And if it doesn't stop, somebody is going to get seriously injured or worse, aren't they? It needs to stop. No matter what political differences they've got, they should just narrow it down to that. I've got nothing against anybody arguing against Restore Britain's policies, because I think they welcome that. Debate is what we want. But it's this backstabbing, dirty tactics stuff that needs to stop, doesn't it? It needs to stop. If you want to go after Restore Britain, fair enough, go after it. But go after it because of its policies and the things that they've actually said, not on some misconceptions, made up straw man argument that you constructed yourself. It's wrong. I'm actually advocating for debate. If you've got an issue with what they're saying, go talk to them, debate them. But don't fabricate stuff, don't smear them, and don't put people in danger with dangerous rhetoric. Hey everybody, how you doing? Hey Capricorn. Kenny mate, thank you. Thank you for sending me the link. I know I'd already done a video, but thank you for sending me the link on X regarding the information about the Rupert Lowe, Basil the Great conversation. Really appreciate it, mate. Thank you. In fact, I'm going to use your link that you sent me to talk about it in a minute. In fact, let's get that up now. Let's start talking about it now. Right, share screen. I'm really tired, guys, at the minute. I'm shattered. Right, so this is it. So we'll have a look at what Ben Habib said first. We'll see what he's responding to. So this is what Ben Habib said. So this is what Basil the Great was responding to. I'm going to go through it again because people complained about the audio in the video last night. If it was bad, I apologise. So this is what he said. Ben Habib, when Rupert Lowe commenced his rape gang inquiry, I donated £5,000 to it. It is being suggested online that I asked for the return of this donation. This is not true. I never asked for the return, and Lowe can confirm this. The donation was returned to me, but not at my request. So he's admitting it. He's admitting that he accepted the donation back. So it's not fabrication, it's not information. This is from Ben Habib's own mouth. Okay? So all those people in the chat of my video today who were denying it and saying it's misinformation, it's made up, it's not. This is the evidence. And you know what? When you ask me for evidence, right, why don't you just go and research it for yourself? It's not hard. Okay? So that was Ben Habib saying that. Now, he actually said this to Basil the Great as well. I saw the post from Basil the Great. So he said, the donation was returned to me, but not by my request. Basil the Great posted a similar accusation against me. It wasn't an accusation. He was simply asking you to clarify the situation rather than, because you didn't touch upon it. So he sent the message out. He said, what is this? What happened to the 5,000? Giving you an opportunity to state your case. But instead, like he said, he chose to smear Basil the Great by saying he made an accusation against you, which he didn't do. So this is what Basil the Great said. Ben, I apologise to you and asked to be left out of this, but you're going to tag me in this, so I'm going to put the truth out. I saw other people make this post with a screenshot of you receiving the money back. I put a post out asking why this had happened. You got in touch with me personally within a few minutes and I said, this is not what happened. So I took the post down immediately and apologised, taking your word for it, out of courtesy to you. I wanted to leave it at that, bearing in mind my post was up for less than 5 minutes. You then demanded I go around other people who have made the same post and comment underneath their post saying it's not true on your behalf. Personally, I think this is ridiculous and unfair request to make. You then said I damaged you, the post was up 5 minutes tops, and sent me screenshots of a private conversation between you and Rupert Lowe, where it's clear Rupert offered you the money back following your criticisms of the inquiry early on that you weren't receiving regular updates. So the information that incriminates Ben Habib was sent by Ben Habib, so it wasn't fabricated. Yeah. Rupert offered you the money back and you clearly said yes. You may not have requested the money, but it's not like it was rejected. You did agree you wanted it back. I don't know why you didn't get the updates about the rape gang inquiry. I know other people who donated. Yes, I did. I did tell you, Ben, that explaining all this would damage everyone involved, but you didn't listen. My post was up for a few minutes. I don't know why you specifically targeted me. I'm not being smeared and having people not know the full truth. And he quotes the same here, look, please may I take you up on your offer of having my 5,000 returned. The post was up less than 5 minutes, Ben. I apologise and asked to be left out of it. I'm not posting the full text you sent me of you and Rupert, but here's the most important part. If you want the post, the rest, that's up to you. So first off, we'll look at the conversation between Ben Habib and Basil the Great. So this is it. This is it here. So obviously he's not included the full thing. He's just said, I'm not commenting on other people's posts about any of this. I've taken down my post within minutes of it going up and apologised. Thank you for clarifying, Ben. Have a good day. And then this is Ben Habib. You have damaged me, Basil. I have had people texting me asking why I have done that. I ask you again, in the interest of equity, please post under the post put out by Wolf something to the effect of, this is not correct. I have spoken to Ben Habib and I am satisfied he did not ask for the return of his donation. Doing this makes you an honest broker. And Basil the Great says no. And Ben Habib comes back and says, this is not good, Basil. So let's take a look at the actual screenshots of him asking for the money back. So this is what he said. Given your antipathy to my inquiry, yes, please, may I take you up on your offer of having my 5,000 returned? So that's it. That was it. That was the whole conversation. Look at some of the chat. Naz. It's like as well from the chat on their own. Yeah, he did. We can read between the lines. We can assume that he caused a situation, said, I'm not getting regular updates. And apparently the conversation was longer than that. And he said, I wasn't getting regular updates. Apparently he was kicking up a proper fuss about it. So in the end, Rupert just gave up and said, look, Ben, I'll return you the money. And that's what he did. And then Ben Habib accepted the money back. Thank you for that. Something very distasteful about taking back a donation to such a cause. Very distasteful indeed. I totally agree. He was always going to show his true colours. 100%. Yeah, me fault. I thought Ben Habib was generally a nice guy. I just thought he was being led down the garden path by a few individuals who had their own agenda, and that's why it explained his recent out-of-character outbursts. But it seems these out-of-character outbursts are the true Ben Habib, and the public figure we all see is just a persona. That's the only conclusion I can come to now about this. I think it's a shame too, but I think we all have to understand now that there will never be a merger between Advance UK and Restore. I hope further along the line that there can be some kind of they can reconcile, and there can be some kind of voting alliance. But in my honest opinion, I think within the next few months, Advance will fold because it will be left so far behind by Restore Britain, then it will just become irrelevant. That's just my opinion. Yes, but now Advance have gone on the attack, saying Rupert did the inquiry for votes. Absolutely. Really? Is that what they've said? I've not seen that. Have they actually said that, Capricorn? That he did it for votes? Who said that? And is there a link to a video where they're actually saying that? Because I will play it in the live stream. Because, right, I've had this argument as well today in the chat, in the comments, saying that, oh, and it's mainly people who are quite obviously Advanced UK members. They say, oh, all this dirty, all airing this dirty laundry in the public, it just makes our movement weaker. And I just said, no. What makes our movement weaker is covering things like this up and then leaving it down the line and then it blowing up at a crucial moment. That's what weakens this movement. If we bring it out and show it out and we air it out in the open, then we get over it now and we move on. And plus, the people have a right to know. People have a right to know who are donating to this party exactly what is going on. Now, I think that Ben Habib is a dishonourable man. I don't think he's honourable. And I think that's what Rupert Lowe feels. I think that's why initially there was no response to his call for a merger, to Ben Habib's call for a merger. I think, well, you took back the £5,000 donation, so you're a dishonourable man. I don't want anything to do with you. But Rupert Lowe, being the gentleman that he isn't going to be nasty. He'll just do it in a statesman's-like way, which is what he's been doing. If you've noticed, Rupert Lowe hasn't been airing any dirty laundry in public. He's not been causing drama. He's been silent. And that's the best way to be in these situations. Because personally, if you look at it, Advance UK has created the noose themselves. They've put their head in it and they've hung themselves. That's what they've done. And they've got nobody to blame but themselves for the downfall. This is all on them. Rupert Lowe has literally done nothing to them. They've done it to themselves. And, you know, Advance UK members and members of the college, people higher up in Advance, can blame Restore Britain all they like. But at the end of the day, they need to look in the mirror and realise that they themselves have become the architects of their own demise. It's that simple. How you doing, Stefan? How you doing, mate? The racists have managed to start their own party has to be the most infuriating comment of the past 2 weeks. Have exploded. Don't worry, I'm going to be looking at that today in the video I was talking about earlier. We still don't need any other UKIP events except our homeland is being stolen from us and the people are waking up. Restore mission. The thing is, what people don't understand and what these little parties don't understand is the thing that they've not been able to do, which is tap into that untapped resource of people who have become disillusioned and said they would never vote for a party again. Suddenly, they now have an option to vote for that's giving them hope. And all these other little parties haven't managed to tap into that. But for some reason, Rupert Lowe has with Restore Britain, and he's now getting people to sign up as membership to his party that weren't going to vote. They weren't going to vote in the next election. He's causing a political revival in the nation, and it's happening. It's happening from town to town. There's been people on YouTube going around with a picture of Rupert Lowe asking people, do you know who this man is? And saying, yeah, that's Rupert Lowe. He's the guy that's going to stay in the country. That's why they're all nervous. That's why all these little parties are nervous. That's why Advance is nervous. I know I keep saying it. You know, Advance UK thought they were going to be the top dog, and then Rupert Lowe started Restore Britain, came along, pissed in their cornflakes, and overnight they became irrelevant. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. It's just the way I see it. You can see the massive political shift that's taken place over the last few weeks since Restore Britain has become operational. People have actually got hope again. I've got to admit, I had no hope. Before Restore Britain became a party, I had no hope. I looked at the parties that we had and I thought, there's not a single one of them that are capable of becoming a government. I mean, you could look at Reform, but I don't even class Reform as a right-wing party. I don't class them as a right-wing party. People have said basically if you're in the centre, you may as well just be centre-left. And if you look at their policies, they are. And if you look at some of the people in Advance UK, the things that they've been saying, then they're centre-left. They're centre-left. They're not right-wing at all. Advance UK is a centre-right party, apparently, whereas Restore Britain is a hard right party. And that's the difference. And that's why they've got differing worldviews. Have a look at some of the comments. We'll get rid of that. Tell you what we'll do. We'll go and look at Richard Inman's initial outburst at the news that Rupert Lowe had started Restore Britain. Because that's in chat. Some people haven't even seen this yet. We're going to have a look at it because it's very telling. All the videos I'm using under fair use. So if anybody's got a problem, it's fair use. There we go. We'll play this. This is very telling. I have to say, for being transparent, he has since apologised for his outburst. I think it was on a live stream with Paul Thorpe where he called Conor Thomason and a few others and Carl Benjamin. He called them rats. So I think he apologised to Carl Benjamin, but I don't think he apologised to anybody else. But this was his initial. I'm doing that. This was his initial response. And it's been downhill ever since, really, hasn't it? We'll see that. Is that on? Centered all right. There we go.
Somebody just asked me my thoughts on Rupert Lowe. Just arrived back at Belfast International Airport. Well, my thoughts on Rupert Lowe is he is a man driven not by love of country, but by a massive ego. He is hypocritical. He is treacherous in the way that he's dealt with Ben Habib. He is setting up. I believe there's a reason why.
How was he treacherous? How was he treacherous in the way he's dealt with Ben Habib?
Why Rupert Lowe will not join forces with Ben, and I think they're very sinister. I believe the people around him, many of them are ethno-nats, and no matter what happens, I'm going to stick with Advance UK. Well done, Rupert. You probably just destroyed any chance of saving the country, you treasonous wretch.
Well, that's an unfortunate pause, isn't it? There you go. That was his initial response to Rupert Lowe starting Restore Britain. The thing is, and somebody brought this up in the, I think it was Tom actually, I think Tom mentioned this when we were talking the other day. He said, you do realise that they were okay with him joining Advance UK, but the minute he started his own party, it suddenly became public enemy number one, and somehow he's now an ethno-nationalist. And Ben Habib was perfectly okay when they announced the launch of Restore Britain. He was perfectly okay to merge with it on that day, even though he later came out and said that it had no infrastructure, it didn't have any constitution or anything like that. Given the fact that it had only just launched, and it took Ben Habib 9 months to create infrastructure. They just don't like the fact that there's a new rival party that has completely bypassed them. That's their problem. That's their issue. This new party has come along and has done what they couldn't do. Couldn't tap into that untapped reserve of people who are disillusioned in this country, that had no interest in party politics anymore. Then along came Restore Britain, and then that revival started. The people perked up and listened and thought, you know what, this guy is saying exactly what I want to do. That's what they're angry about, because they weren't the ones that did that. That's where it all comes from. Right, I've rambled enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the link out into the chat. I'm only looking for people that haven't been in before, so don't get upset if I don't invite you in. Of course, always the rules are you must show your face backstage before I allow you into the live stream. Have your audio ready, have your mic ready, and they're the rules. All right. Right, so I'm going to throw the link out into the chat. Anybody who wants to come in, you're quite welcome to do so. I'm only looking for people that haven't been in before. That's a good point. Then also forgot Rupert is busy working MP, holding the government to account. Yeah, he's an MP. He's working in Parliament. Basically, Rupert's doing the work of an entire party. He's like a one-man party, like a one-man army, taking on the institutions within Parliament. And all Ben Habib can do is bitch and moan about the fact that he's not getting regular updates, doesn't take into consideration that he's got a constituency. He probably has to do surgeries within his constituency back in Great Yarmouth. He has to go on committees in Parliament. He's also starting up a political party. He's also dealing with the grooming gang inquiry. All these things. I'm not going anywhere yet, mate. I've just put the link out for people to come in if they want to come in. I wish I could, but said I'm at work, about to come off lunch. Okay, mate. Sorry about that. They don't take that into consideration, though. I'll leave the link in the chat again. Everyone wants to come in and have a chat, you're quite welcome to do so. Anybody that actually disagrees with me, come in and have a debate. We'll have a chat about it. Get your point across. That's a good point. Where did he stand? Did he stand somewhere? I'm sure he tried to stand as an MP and failed, didn't he? Thanks for coming in, buddy. I've got to go. Great work. Been great morning. Great morning, Steve. Yeah, thanks to Steve for modding. I see them and poor thought for what they are from the beginning. Yeah. I think a lot of people did, but they just didn't have an opportunity to come out and actually say it. Because if you're not saying it, then you're not doing anything, are you? But I think, they've got quite big audiences. But I think finally, the mask has been pulled off and people can see them for what they really are. Right, guys, I'm going to keep it short and sweet today then. Nobody wants to come in. Don't forget my video at 4 p.m. today. Watch that video. Richard Inman doubles down again on calling everybody ethno-nats and blames Restore Britain for racist comments that his friends are getting, even though he doesn't show any evidence of it. Now, I'm not saying evidence doesn't exist, but if you're going to make claims like that, it might be helpful to show the evidence. And if it is indeed true, then I condemn it. I 100% condemn that. Nobody should receive racial abuse online for who they are as people. We should only criticize them for what they say and their actions. That's it. Thanks for being everybody. Remember to like on the way out. And thank you for everybody. I want to thank all my new subscribers as well before everybody goes. I want to thank all my new subscribers, for everybody that has liked, shared, and commented on this video in the last year, that has brought this channel to where it is right now. This is all on you guys. It really is. And I really, really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. And, you know, have a good weekend. I'll be putting out the morning walk videos over the weekend. I think this is going to be my last live stream until next week now. So thanks for all coming in. It's been a pleasure. This is Vindicator signing off.